welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is another wonderful episode of Illuminatio. It's me, JP. I'm joined by Charlie today, who's looking a little tired.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, he looks a little tired. And Tyler's here, man in the sound.
Tyler's also tired.
Everybody looks tired today, so it's probably not going to be the longest episode. But I want to just dive right into the biggest news of the day that is for me. And it's probably not necessarily the day, because it happened a couple of days ago. But CNN settled with Nicholas Sandmann for an obviously undisclosed amount. Now, a lot of people are talking about how they did this to avoid the discovery phase.
That's exactly why they did it.
No, of course. I mean, like it totally makes sense, but it's just like how much you think?
$25 million.
$25 million?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they gave him $25 million?
Mm-hmm. I'm not pulling that number out of my ass. I saw it somewhere, and I can't remember where.
But like he can't. He obviously can't say.
We gotta cite stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I saw it on the Donald, so don't.
so take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
No, okay, but like this. So obviously, if you've been living under a rock, Nicholas Sandmann was the Covington kid who, was dealing with the whole controversy of Nathan Phillips being up in his face, and everybody just jumped all over and attacked him. All these celebrities, news organizations, politicians, everybody piled on it. I mean, shit. I looked at it in the beginning and I was just like, I didn't think nearly as bad as all the other people. I thought to myself, like, oh, this kid's kind of an asshole. But that's just the way the narrative goes, I suppose. Don't believe everything you read, I guess.
You were bought in.
Yeah. No,
it's okay. I was too.
No, I mean, I feel bad too because he's 16, for God's sakes, and everybody on the left at the very least keeps bringing up the fact that it's like, oh, you can't make fun of Greta Thunberg because, oh my God. Speaking of Greta Thunberg, did you see what Borka said?
No.
Oh my God. So he called her Thunder Thighs. He's like, Greta Thunberg, Greta Thunder Thighs. Yeah, and I'm just like, ooh, Borka, dude, she's like, she just turned 17, dog. God, like.
She was on this.
Too soon, but in a different way.
No, I mean, okay. Like, see, that, I can. If a 16-year-old wants to get up there and spit policy at me, you can make fun of them all you want for their policy.
Yeah, Nick Sandmann was just standing there, man.
Yeah, no, Nick Sandmann shouldn't have been, targeted realistically at all. But, like, for Greta, if she's going to get up on a soapbox and talk about, like, all of these ridiculous things, I think that she should be allowed to be made fun of for the ridiculous things that she says. 100%.
Yeah, she's open to criticism just like everybody else is.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about the way she looks, though.
I mean, that's a personal attack, and I mean, that's just
yeah. Also, she's
okay.
So that's kind of like, well, the personal attacks are obviously uncalled for and stuff, but like personal attacks against children and minors and stuff just
feels wrong.
It feels worse for some reason. I mean, it's not
to Democrats
per se, but like,
not all Democrats, but at least the ones that testified. That one bitch, that one doctor. Right?
I forget who.
Trump can name his son Barron, but he never can be one. It's like he never implied. Stupid bitch.
I like the name Barron.
It's a cool name. He's from the future.
Is he from the future?
Yeah, he's from the future.
He's tall as hell.
You're damn right he is.
Like,
the boy just got 15 feet taller. No.
Like, dude, if he doesn't end up playing basketball.
Yeah, from the White House homeschool.
Do you think he plays basketball in the highest court in the land?
Yeah, the one that Obama had put in Oh yeah, no, you can't play there.
In the Supreme Court.
You can't play there.
Why?
You can't play.
Only justices get to play there.
Get to play there.
Could you imagine like Ruth Bader Ginsburg's gonna
fucking
ball
dunk
on
people,
your ass,
dunking
dude?
on fucking
Like,
Neil
you
Gorsuch.
think that
fucking Brett Kavanaugh comes out of nowhere, just fucking double checks her. That'd be fucking great.
Breaks every bone in her body.
That's how she broke her ribs.
She's playing too hard.
She's
going too hard in the paint. Goddamn.
No, but Nick Sandmann didn't deserve any of that shit, and he's gonna get his fucking money.
Oh my God.
And now they're planning on suing Nathan Phillips himself.
Who, Nick Sandmann and his family?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Phillips ain't got that money. Why are they trying to do that?
It's more for like a symbolic thing.
Right. I suppose. I think. I guess
the judge was like, "Yeah, he can't fucking pay for it, but yeah, we'll proceed."
Yeah. I mean, because that's my whole thing. I was like, I would look at it just like, I'm like, you won, dude. You beat him. Do you really need him?
Well, hold on. I think it's right because fucking Nathan Phillips has done this kind of thing before. Like he's done this whole like, oh, I'm looking, they're oppressing me because I'm a Native American. Like this isn't the first incident he's had. So fucking sue him for every fucking cent he has.
If you got to teach him a lesson like this, I guess this is the best way to do it. Maybe I don't know, because it just seems to me like why? If we're over here talking about the fact that he's already had multiple instances, and then this one is like
we are,
but like this is
CNN, MSNBC, all them, they weren't, and they aren't, and they refuse to acknowledge it, and they refuse to acknowledge the fact that this dude's a fucking piece of shit, fucking AWOLer, fucking. Also, he's like fucking lying about his fucking service.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was. I thought he was like lying about his service.
Yeah,
he never served, or
he's a real piece of shit human being.
Is he a conscientious coward?
No, he lied about going to Vietnam. He never left the United States. He was a refrigerator repairman or some shit like that, or refrigeration repair specialist.
Well, because that's actually an interesting thought. So, like, if you're chilling on like one of the reservations during the draft, you gotta go.
Are you Native American? Is it your reservation?
Well, yeah.
Then no. No, dude, I can't go get you.
Dope. Just like standing on like one side of the thing, like,
yeah,
like, come here.
Nope.
No.
No.
No. I'm good. I don't want to go die.
No.
I'm fine. Oh, no. So speaking of wars. Did you see? So Carpe Donktum tweeted out about how he thinks that we killed Soleimani.
Mm-hmm.
Then like the supreme leader of Iran like called Trump, and they were like, all right. Let's complete de-escalation, but we have to retaliate publicly. So
yeah,
they retaliate.
So Brian, my buddy Brian, brought this up earlier. He's seen that there's a theory that they wanted Soleimani out, and they used this as an opportunity to kind of like tie up that loose end.
I don't think that they wanted. So at the very least, I don't think the supreme leader of Iran.
Well, hold on, get this.
Soleimani,
a lot, their government's purging itself of his men.
I hear. So I saw you text me that earlier, and I actually have a thought to that. I mean, we need to wait to see. This is obviously just complete speculation, but
sure.
I think that when you have kind of like a mad dog general, like Soleimani,
like a Mattis.
No, like somebody who's just kind of, like they've got their hands in like everything.
Yeah,
and it may be something that you don't necessarily know about.
He's a terrorist.
So, like when you've got somebody like Soleimani who's running militia groups literally like all over the Middle East, and who's kind of got their hands in everything that's like a big major, play in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I really think that like once, he's been keeping his people in line.
Yeah, by killing them.
Well, yeah, but they respect
his name
him.
just sounds like a bad guy. I mean,
Soleimani.
It sounds like he got plucked right out of like an antagonist spot from a Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, you look at him, he looks like a Call of Duty antagonist. He really does. He's got like the thick white beard, and he's always wearing army fatigues and shit. Yeah,
Modern Warfare is inventing all kinds of stand countries.
Isn't like Advanced War? Doesn't Advanced Warfare take place in 2020?
What does it?
Or like the third
something?
One of the Modern Warfares does, or like Advanced Warfare. I can't remember. I didn't.
I don't know.
They're all the same.
Why do like military dictators always wear army fatigues?
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
it's a great question.
Low key. My camis are like, they felt pretty comfy, man.
I'd be like Generalissimo style, like walking around in like the dress military outfit, just constantly like 25 giant medals hanging off my chest. I got this for saving a little deer from a battle.
Would you get them mounted, or would you just like place them on?
Oh yeah, no, they would. What do you mean mounted? I don't know.
So like mounted is like they're not like individual medals. It's like all like there's like essentially a piece of cardboard that slides behind it. So they just they would like move as one piece.
No, I want them all to jingle. I want all like the big. I want to like turn and go. Like what the.
Because I've seen some dudes who are fucking like stacked.
Like the big shoulder pads and whatnot. Like the belt that's fringe. Like right up here on my fucking
You gotta get like
so real quick for us, Charlie.
Yeah,
break down for the layman what all those little lines and stripes and colors mean on a high-ranking officers.
They're different for each branch and each military, right? So like you see people with like in the army, you see how like they like.
Yeah, I was gonna say from an army standpoint.
The army I think the army uses like they actually have like the actual emblem and they put on their shoulders. Yeah. But like the Navy, like you see like the different stripes and stuff that they have, like on their like blue coats, and like sometimes there's a loop to loop on it. Like that's how you can tell that like each of those is assigned to each rank.
And isn't part of the medals also showing like what tours they served in?
Yeah, I have my GWAT, which everyone gets for joining, as the Global War on Terrorism medal. National Defense ribbon because I enlisted in a time of war. quote unquote. I didn't go anywhere, so time of war. Everyone gets it. We call it your pizza stain. Fucking.
Do you ever see that? Do you ever see that episode of Always Sunny where they're doing the podcast?
No.
They're talking about war. They have like Ben on there, and they're like, Ben, so why don't you tell us about the war? And he's like, well, actually, there are 2 wars going on right now. And he's like, 2 wars? There are 2 wars going on right now?
There is no World War III.
That's true. That's true. Not yet.
Nope. Not happening.
Not yet.
It's not going to happen.
Probably not.
No.
Not with Iran.
Iran's fucking backing off, dude. That shit's over.
Iran and the United States wouldn't cause World War III because, like, I feel like if Iran really escalated conflict with the United States, they'd look to China, they'd look to Russia, and both of them would be like, nah. Not getting involved.
We're still milking this cow, homie.
Yeah, so
like
and then we would just kind of, and then it would be like it would literally be like Iraq. We would go over there, we would fucking whoop ass, and we would stay there forever.
No, this time it would be different because they actually have a standing army.
Well,
Iraq wasn't like the first Gulf War and all this shit, like the original like 2003 invasion against.
I mean, it would be worse for us. Like we would lose way more people this time. Don't get me wrong, but like we'd still.
Yeah, but it'd be more like it wouldn't be like Afghanistan.
They don't have an air force, do they?
The carpets.
Dude, we could, you know.
Have you ever seen that one? Iran's Air Force preparing. It's a whole bunch of dudes in the carpet shop. They just like getting the rugs out.
No, I mean, like we just got so many potential options of things that we
dude, they don't look. They're not looking that hot right now.
No,
like they just shot down a civilian airline.
Yeah.
You know what? I have friends on Facebook posting shit. It's like, oh, remember when the United States shot down? It's like, what
airlines?
It was like back in like 1981 or like I can't remember when that was.
Like we shot down.
A U.S. Navy ship accidentally shot down an Iranian flight full of passengers. It was an accident. Whoops. It was entirely an accident. Like,
it happens.
No, I don't. I could tell you right now, they were not happy, and we were already not on good terms with them.
Yeah, no shit.
And we are still not on good terms, and now they just shut down a fucking plane.
Full of Canadians.
Full of Canadians and some British.
Hey, you guys remember when you did that?
60, what was it, 63 Canadians?
Yeah, it was a lot. And then there was like a bunch of Iranians on there, some British dudes,
dude,
Germans.
I mean, like, obviously the loss of life is insanely regrettable, and it's absolutely
143 people. Man.
It's horrible.
Or like, was it now? It's like 100. It's like 200 people or some shit.
Can you imagine just for a second how shitty it would be just for that like moment to be Boeing CEO and get that phone call?
Dude, he's like, fuck, we just grounded these fucking
we got
Maxes.
Another plane down. Are you kidding me? Like, Jesus. Don't worry, sir. This one was shot down. Thank God.
Here's the video. Like, this is them. Don't refresh. Oh, shit. Fuck. I'm like, as we were walking in here, I was looking at the video of like that plane getting hit.
Oh, there's a video of it getting hit?
Hell yeah.
What?
Here, I know who fucking linked it.
Are you kidding me? Iran knows better. Pixar didn't happen.
You see what we did? Don't mess with us. We'll kill your civilians.
Fuck, where is it?
I honestly think that a war with North Korea would be worse for us than a war with Iran. The North Koreans are like robots. They have nothing to lose.
It's true.
It just blew up.
That flash and that's it?
That's it.
Oh my God.
They said it was a malfunction.
So it kind of looks like a malfunction if I'm being honest.
Then why did it stop transmitting?
I don't know. Like a really bad malfunction? Because it doesn't look like anything went up to hit it.
Was it an engine malfunction?
No, I have no idea what kind of malfunction it could possibly be.
Then there's no fucking way, man.
I know, but like what kind of... I mean, like I don't know anything about missiles either, so...
Look, I'm going to side with the guy that spent the last couple years working on aircraft.
No, that's what he wants you to believe. He was sleeping in the fucking
I was sleeping
hangar,
in the office.
You heard
I was sleeping in the office. You got me. No, I was sleeping up in tool room, man. No, that's... Especially with those planes, they have 2 engines. They can fly without one.
No, I think that, you know, I think that we've evolved our technology beyond the point that a catastrophic failure will just explode everything.
You can have a catastrophic engine failure.
Like if Tyler's like...
You can have
everything's sci-fi now. As soon as anything goes wrong, it immediately comes
What? Those 2 cords are touching each other on the sound equipment. Ah!
You can have a catastrophic engine failure in an F-18 and still fly the bird. Because there's 2 engines.
I mean, I don't know, because like my only thing just with that video at the very least, but it's dark, and I don't know how missiles work. Yeah, but I mean, like I feel like you would have seen something, right?
8,000 feet?
No,
It was at 8,000 feet.
you wouldn't see something.
It'd be like that size.
I guess, yeah.
Here, let me give a shout out to the Instagram page that said it, so people know what video we're talking about. It's called keepamerica.usa.
Keepamerica.usa.
Yeah.
That's nuts, though, because like, do you think it was an accident? Do you think that they
totally
meant to do it?
Totally an accident.
That's such a shameful accident. That
Yeah,
sucks.
it's a rare. Look at this. Tim Pool was talking about this too, so I'm surprised you didn't hear this. They were on like a hair trigger alert because one, they just had a general air stricken.
Yep.
They were launching missiles already.
Yep. No, I mean
there's a plane flying at 8,000 feet.
Perfect storm.
You're like, oh shit, that's coming in to fucking hit us.
Yeah, perfect storm. No,
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I think that's probably like this like honest to God, like
I'm surprised that's not a no-fly zone. Like
people
over-
still fly out of Tehran. That's
Yeah.
where it was flying out
Wow.
of.
why? I mean,
just-
like
there's not.
It's the border to Iraq. I think it's like a big no-go.
I feel
zone.
like, yeah,
it's like I don't know how far back this actually was. I think it was like right outside.
No, but
I
I'm
feel
just
like
there's
mo-
not. There had to have been like another air route out of there without.
It's Ukraine. They're allies with Iran, so
yeah, I feel like most of the time Iran's got to be just like a regular, place in the Middle East. Like
it used to be a lot nicer.
I can't imagine that they're constantly under fire. Like, you ever see those episodes of South Park where like they go to Baghdad and it's just like a bunch of crumbling buildings just all over the place? Like in the middle, it's just a bunch of crumbling buildings in the middle of the desert.
No, it's just like okay, yeah, it's like
You see pictures of Baghdad.
you can
it looks
there can be
kinda
a
like bunch of crumbling
riot.
buildings
There can
in
be
the
a
middle of the desert.
riot downtown, and then you can be uptown and like not know. Like that's pretty
No,
much
yeah,
much
no.
like how the place is. Like you're like, oh my god, look what happened! Look what's happening in Charlottesville. It's like we're right over here. It's like no, shit seems fine. It's just still in the country. Like just because shit's going on in one part of the country doesn't mean it can't be nicer in another part. Look at what fucking Hitler was doing in like Bavaria. He had fucking castles and shit, and just dicking around in fucking parts of like Berlin are getting fucking bombed.
Well, I mean, like we're so connected now that it's kind of hard to avoid. It's kind of hard to do like the keep your head in the sand thing. And there's a lot of places like over in the Middle East specifically where this type of connectivity and whatnot via the internet isn't really something that they have.
Sure, it's probably like kind of shitty. Like the
Well, like Iran, I'm pretty sure like wasn't Twitter recently like banned in Iran?
probably. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Like I think that because I mean like there's really heavy regulations on social media and stuff over there. So it's like if
no doubt.
if the government's out in the streets killing people, you're not tweeting about that.
Yeah.
You're not posting.
Iran 2009 blocked Twitter due.
In 2009.
That's not. That's probably just an isolated. December 2013, Twitter and Facebook was briefly lifted without notice due to technical error. However, within a day, the sites were blocked again. So yeah, actually, it does look like both Iran and Facebook have been censored. Both Twitter and Facebook have been censored in Iran.
Well, it makes
Since
sense.
2009.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense because like these are, like this is a place where you want to exert the most control over your people.
Right.
And having them
Then
have
look
all
at
these
China's
windows
doing.
to the outside world,
Yeah,
that's not
Look at China. China censors the fuck out of their internet. They're only letting people.
for good reason.
Oh yeah.
There's fucking how many people over there?
Man, you let them know. I mean, I wouldn't call it a good reason.
I mean, okay, look, here's me. Just
Good reason
talking-
for China not to do
we're
it.
talking from a logical standpoint. How many people are over there?
Billions.
Yeah, like 3 billion almost.
I don't know.
Something dumb like that.
I don't know.
Tyler, how many people are in China?
1.2 billion.
That sounds about right.
1.2 billion.
1.2 billion sounds low.
Closest not going over. 1.3. Get fucked.
Yeah, I am getting
Get
fucked. That sounded so low though. I don't know why. So yeah, 1.3 billion people. You want to make and you rule with this like
Hold on.
authoritarian.
0.00001 of those billion has the internet.
It's also 2017 numbers, so
They're
something to pay
doubled
attention
now.
there.
Yeah,
I guarantee, no,
no,
probably.
no, plateauing. Look at that shit.
Oh no, it's about to drop.
Oh, yeah.
it's
They're about to die
hardcore
out.
drop, yeah, not enough women.
Yeah, they totally fucked
I
their
wonder.
birth rate.
I wonder why.
They'll
Who
bounce
could
back.
afford-
There's just way too many of them.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Artificially, though, I think they're going to bounce back with CRISPR babies and just absolutely next level unethical dystopian.
Because this is
technology.
they're
already doing it.
They're already doing like the mixed breed with like the sheep people.
This is the whole
pig
dude. Like
people.
Not only that, they had their first CRISPR baby test that was on a completely unknowing mother.
Oh yeah, they
do
took,
whatever
they just
the
took the
fuck
kids and
they
did it.
want.
Yeah, they just did it.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about pig people. CRISPR babies.
There's gonna be at the front line of the new Chinese army.
The Chinese army, the pig people.
Dude, it's gonna be like the Clone Wars, man. They're just gonna start flying in here on this. There's gonna be millions of them just flying, and they're all gonna look like.
And then Xi Jinping is gonna do execute order 66, and they're just gonna turn against all the other CCP officials. So he stays in Paris. He becomes the
emperor. Oh no, dude! The Emperor of China is back.
Damn! For all the movies for them to decensor in China, that was really lucky.
He brings the Emperor back.
I'm so glad they got Star Wars Episode 3 decensored in China.
Instead of that scene with like Anakin walking up like the Jedi Temple with like all the clones and whatnot behind him, it's like Xi walking with like all of like these Chinese people behind him through
sheep people
through what's his name's tomb with all the terracotta warriors like standing around. Just playing Star Wars music in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that today.
It's a good movie. I don't care. Dude, like that scene with Ian McDiarmid when he's just like, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I guess it's the tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
It's the tragedy.
And then like when he's talking about how like at the end where he's like, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, and then his apprentice murdered him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. Like it's just so cool, man. Like I can't get over how cool it is. Not to mention, I think that it's awesome that Ian McDiarmid is actually like in
all of them. He's like the only dude playing the Emperor.
He's been in 6 movies.
Yeah, he's been in.
I think that's
he's been in war movies. He's been in 7 movies.
7?
Oh no, he's not in New Hope, is he?
No, he's not in New Hope. He makes his first appearance in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, so he's only been in 6 movies.
Yeah, so he's in Empire Strikes Back, and then he's in Return of the Jedi.
R2's the only one who's been in all of them.
Yeah, and then he's in all 3 of the prequels.
Isn't C-3PO in all of them too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the droids are in all of the movies.
Chewie
is not in all of the movies.
Is in 7.
Chewie is in
7 movies. Because he's in all 3 of the original trilogy, and he's in 1 of the prequels, and he's in all 3 of the sequels.
There you go, Chewie.
Chewie's in 7 of them.
There you go, boy.
Yeah, good job, Chewie. All right, yeah, but
Who
Iran.
Knew he would be the most prolific character.
Yeah, most prolific. Iran, so far away.
It's easy just because they can put anybody in the Wookiee suit.
Yeah, isn't it? But hasn't
anybody that's like 7 foot plus?
Hasn't it been? I know his name.
Platform.
It's been the same. It's been the same dude since the prequels. Like it's.
Is it really?
Like yes, well since episode 3 of the prequels. Yeah.
Don't look it up. I know his name.
I follow him on Twitter.
Peter Mayhew.
No.
Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew was the original Chewie.
Yeah, same dude.
No. Peter Mayhew's dead.
What?
Yeah.
How long has he been dead?
2019, I think.
He died on April 30th, 2019, age 74.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, there's some newer, younger.
I remember that last year. We were like, oh, Chewie died.
Yeah, there's a much younger gentleman now that plays Chewie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Junas.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
Junas Suotamo?
So here's some.
Oh man, that's really bad. That was a terrible pronunciation.
So here's some news to all of my people who live across the pond.
Them British people.
Did you see what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle said?
They're they're fleeing the coop.
Yeah,
they're not because those pedophiles are going down, dude.
They out.
Because those
stepping
pedophiles
down from their senior positions in the royal family.
They know
the pedophiles are getting caught, dude.
Regardless of the pedophiles getting caught, because that's for sure going to happen. We're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein again here in just a second because some new shit has
Epstein.
Some new shit has come out. I know, right? New stuff. Can you believe it?
Wow.
So, the thing that I would, if I was a royal, in England right now, I would be really hot under the collar because
I mean, only if you did
dude,
it.
they're talking about abolishing the House of Lords.
Good.
Oh, I agree, but like, if I was in the House of Lords, I'd be like,
Oh shit.
yeah, ruh-roh.
Yeah, I'm about to lose my job.
About to lose my land.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want the fucking
fuck
land.
The job.
I guarantee
they hardly
you.
have a job. They want their fucking land. The property,
these people like
the
so
value
the house.
therein.
Yeah, the House of Lords owns what? All of the land on the freaking island.
Right.
I thought the Crown owned it.
The Crown owns most.
The Crown
of
owns the
it,
dolphins that.
But like,
come
think
into-
The Crown, the Dukes and Duchesses own their part of the land under the authority of the Crown.
Yeah, but
everything in the United Kingdom.
From
is
Northern Ireland to
property
Wales,
of the
man,
Crown.
that's fucking Lizzie.
It's like
That's Elizabeth.
a consignment ship.
well, yeah, but like all of the people who own, like the dukes and duchesses and all that, they're all her fucking kids or nieces and nephews. So of course it's hers.
Oh, really? I thought they're like people get appointed to that shit too.
There are still people who are in that
Sometimes.
position who do have gigantic estates and stuff. However,
Yeah.
for the most part, like all of these dukes and duchesses and stuff
So
like
you're
that,
talking about like the
they're all
the
related.
nepotized.
Yeah, they're all related to the Windsor House at some point in time. Like if
They're
you're
not
in
even
the House of
British.
Lords nowadays, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like
They're not even British.
they're Normans.
They're Germans.
They're Normans. They're not
The
Germans.
Windsors are German.
Why?
I can show you the family tree after this. But
Are you talking about William the Conqueror?
No, before it's after that. The line's broke. The line has been broken, my friend. It's not the same people from way back when.
Isn't William the Conqueror there? Because that's
Pretty
not.
sure no.
I don't think that's the Hastings guy. It's the dude like way after Hastings.
No, it's not the same.
I don't know. I mean, but regardless,
They're
I mean,
Germans. They're Germans.
maybe the first king. Maybe I'm thinking of the first guy as a Norman.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
I mean, Normans
Normans are-
basically became Germans.
Normans are Northern Frenchmen, mind you. Occupying Normandy.
Yeah, which eventually
We used to be Germans.
Yeah, which
Used to be Germans.
they became German
Yeah.
once Germany took the land.
Well, no, Normandy's in France.
I don't know where anything is, dude.
Normandy's in France. It's northern France.
Well, they took the land at one point in time, then France took it back.
World War II?
Yeah.
No.
They
weren't
were
Normans
there.
yet.
They
They
were
weren't
there.
Normans
No.
yet.
They weren't Normans
Not
for a
anymore.
while.
They weren't
Yeah, they
Normans
weren't Normans anymore.
Oh my God. No. But Epstein.
Okay, so new photos have come out through Epstein's
That fucking neck.
dude, what is up
And the
with
fucking like,
that?
yeah, this scarf right
Yeah,
we have
no,
here.
it's a bunch of jumpsuits tied
The
together.
dude looks like he got fucking garroted,
it
bro.
doesn't even look like he didn't even like rip them to make a fucking like a closer thing. Like Jimmy, one of the
Dude
guys
straight up looks like they took a fucking wire to his neck and like, Jeffrey, don't kill yourself.
like Jimmy, one of the guys that I work with was talking about how like when you're in prison, because he used to work as like a guard.
Does he say was he in
No, and he's
prison?
like, because he's like, dude, people try to kill themselves all the time, and the way that they
Sure.
do it is like they'll rip their clothes to make like a really like like strong enough but thin enough thing, and then they'll sit like
they
on the edge of their bed,
lean
like
forward, yeah,
just like super crouched up like this, so it looks kind of just like they're hanging out over the edge of their
and
their bed, but they're
yeah.
just slowly killing themselves.
yeah, and they lean forward.
No,
and that's how they said Epstein did it. They're like, yeah, he just tied to the edge of his bunk and leaned forward. It's like, nah, like fractures in his neck, broken hyoid bone.
He looks like he got garroted.
Dude had a
for
fucking
sure.
that dude got garroted.
He's got blood. He's got like
and
an
there's
open wound
there's
on
no
his neck.
blood on the actual like the ligature.
Did you read that suicide note? Or it wasn't even like a
I
suicide
didn't read
note.
the note, but I watched.
Oh my god! Okay.
I watched that video of that doctor explaining.
So
some
like
shit.
the note basically says it's like blank because it's blurred out.
Sure.
Blank locked me in the shower for a couple of hours. Couldn't read the name because it was just the handwriting is so ridiculous.
I'm sure.
It's like couldn't read the name. Brought me a bunch of burnt food. Giant bugs crawling all over my hands. No fun.
Of course, it's not fun.
But
Why would it be
it's
fun?
like a weird haiku. It's like this fucking
Analyze it.
like what the shit?
Analyze.
I just couldn't I'm like over here thinking to myself like what the hell is going on, man?
What does it mean?
So then you got
Because
these
he's a
two.
saint. Oh, yo.
Well,
I'm about to go full like third like Like full 9-yard Alex Jones on
Well, okay,
here.
so before you do that, did you see? So like when he was talking about when the doctor, I can't remember what his name was, when doctor whatever that guy that was on 60 Minutes was talking about how, like in New York, you have guards fall asleep on duty all the time. And bad stuff happens. Like, the guard will fall asleep on duty and like four people get murdered in prison, and it's like
2 are the only ones who are lawyering up.
Yeah, and they're going to jail. They have criminal charges placed against them. Like he's like, dude, I've seen guards fall asleep on duty. People get killed because of that, and they get like a fucking spanking on the wrist.
Yeah.
And that's it. They just get slapped and get sent on their way. Like, yeah, you son of a bitch. Pay more attention.
All
damn
right,
it.
so here's my 9th level Alex Jones. And this is, do not take any credibility to this whatsoever.
Is 9th the highest level possible?
I don't know.
No, the highest level of Jones is 10, but you can't.
I can't go there.
Only Alex
Only
is
Alex
actually
can
capable of reaching.
Give me some DMT and I'll see how close I can get. But, all right, so get this. We all know that these occultists, pedophiles, are Satan worshippers, right? With their fucking spirit cooking and all this other shit. John Podesta's emails and all the other blah, 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 blah. We all know this, right? Look at John Podesta's hands. Look at his fucking hands. Anyway, so we all know that they're Satanists, right? So Jeffrey Epstein gets this food, right? It's just this burnt food. He's like, oh, it's just like, why is this so bad? I can't taste it. The thing from Pirates of the Caribbean is like, oh, the food turns to ash in my mouth, right? I'm about to get spiritual here. Jeffrey Epstein was murdered by a demon.
I mean, I'm not gonna count it out.
Jeffrey Epstein was murdered by a demon.
So you're saying like the Clintons like sacrificed him to a demon?
Like the Clintons did some fucking night mother ritual, and they fucking.
Should we be worried about like the future then?
I don't know.
Like why sacrifice him to a demon?
No, they were like, we need to get rid of him. We need to take him out. We're cultists. Like it's like what Stannis.
Well,
it's spoiler alert for Game of Thrones season 2 when Stannis bangs Melisandre and she gives birth to that shadow demon.
Right.
That's what the fucking Clintons just did.
So what shadow demon did they just give birth to?
Some fucking shadow demon that fucking like just like choked him out with its sharp fingers, and that's why it left that mark. And that's why he was getting haunted like before this, right? Like that's why he was like, "There's bugs in my food." It's like, no, there's not. No, this guy's crazy. You've seen like all these horror movies, like, why is this like gross stuff happening? It's like no one can see it except for the person being haunted. That's exactly what just fucking happened.
I mean,
I have zero proof of this.
well, obviously,
obviously, I can't prove it because Jeffrey Epstein's dead and he didn't kill himself.
Well,
but that's a fun theory to play around.
I want to see, like, I want to know what the fucking Justice Department is doing. I mean, I know
they're doing something. Sure, they are. Barr said he was going to investigate, and I'm
Barr's
sure
got much bigger things going on, I feel like, than Jeffrey Epstein, unfortunately, because it's like, what happened? It's like, we know that Jeffrey Epstein raped kids, right? Well, we know he's dead.
Right.
Okay, we're going to put this on the back burner for just a minute.
He's got more people. I'm sure he's got multiple teams of people. He's the top legal person in our fucking country.
Well,
law enforcement officer.
One would hope, considering that
our
he's in charge of the
Justice Department is also one of the most underfunded.
It's also very corrupt.
Yeah, I would say it's also incredibly
too.
Untrustworthy. No offense to Barr, I think he does a pretty good job, but the Justice Department as a whole has literally just spent the last 4 years doing what? Mucking around.
Parts of it work for the prior administration. That's your problem with these fucking bureaucrats. These fucking big government bureaucrats, right?
That's kind of why I have like a weird issue. I have this like weird issue with like the structure of the government, because especially like the federal government, because you have these career, like you said, bureaucrats that work on the Hill. They work for all these different organizations and shit like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like beholden, to people who cycle in and out with the administrations.
Yep.
So it's like, okay,
politicians come and go. It's the ones that stay forever you have to worry about.
Well, yeah, because it's like, I was brought in.
Non-elected position.
I was brought in by Obama.
Position. Yep.
So here comes anti-Obama is now the the president, and he brings in all of his people, and it's like, okay.
Dude, Trump and Obama are not that far apart.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, as an example. I'm not saying like Trump, but like
extremely partisan people that work inside the government.
Well, okay, so like like if you come in because of Trump, like so Barr is still the attorney general, so like Trump leaves the office or whatever,
Barr would still be attorney,
and then
general.
anti-Trump comes in. The complete opposite of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like he probably replaces William Barr, which is understandable,
Trump.
but like you've got all kinds of
You mean
people
Donald
who
Trump
work.
Jr.?
You've got like all kinds of people who work directly below William Barr who aren't going anywhere.
Yep. Pretty much.
And it's just
That's exactly what happened.
No, I know.
That's exactly what happened in
the-
2016.
That's the problem, because it's weird that like the bosses
Change.
are these ever cycling groups of people, but the employees are not.
Then when you have the bosses who are in on it and they cover for each other, like Brennan and fucking.
Well, honest to God, once again, like I'm not saying it's right in any way, shape, or form, but I totally don't blame them either. When you're sitting in a situation where you've got like all of this power, all of this access, all of the, like it's like, think about it. Like I know, for example, like working in, like IS and healthcare, the amount of stuff that probably shouldn't get shared, that gets shared accidentally. Like, do you know how many times somebody sends me a doctor's social security number? If Tyler wanted to, he could just sell social security numbers, like,
Yeah, sure.
no problem. Like, it would be so easy. It would be so easy. They're just right there.
How much you want for them social security numbers, boy?
You're just like, yo, okay, cool.
I got some.
So much trust that is put into
Yeah.
security and having to trust the people that work in the security.
Yeah, and it's just like you've got all kinds of, and I can, and I know, that people who work in departments like this, can be fuck arounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of trust and security, I don't trust the security of Virginia.
So I'm not too familiar with what's going on over in Virginia. I know I saw some of like the gun stuff that's happening, but
Yep. Mandatory confiscation shit that's being threatened by Northam, and he's threatening to use the National Guard to enforce the confiscation. Now, here's the kicker. The National Guard is not loyal to the governor. They are loyal to the Constitution. They swear the same pledge and oath that I did.
so they're not going to do it then.
They shouldn't.
Well, wouldn't that potentially cause conflicts within the National Guard? Because it's the National Guard's the National Guard. It's not the Virginia Guard.
National Guard is the one that the governor gets to dish out. Like, that's what they use. They use the National Guard at, like, the Little Rock 9 shit.
Damn. So
Against the Little Rock 9. Then they brought in the Air Force.
I think it's kind
Or
of
the Army.
I think it's kind of ironic that this is happening in Virginia, but
You'd think. No, and, like, people are saying it's going to happen, but it's not.
So here's basic. It's a whole package of new laws that are going to be coming down on Virginia that would ban assault weapons, silencers, high capacity magazines, and other
if these
quote
are-
unquote dangerous weapons.
let's call these what they are. They're bills.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they're not laws yet.
No,
They're
no.
bills.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, Northam's the
it's
one
a
who's
bundle
pushing
of
for him,
bills.
and Virginia's a very blue state. So if he's the top Democrat in the state, especially when it comes to, like, the state legislator.
Yeah.
I don't know how their government structure is, but he could be at the type, like, his office could have a lot of power over legislative issues, even though he's part of the executive branch. Some states are set up that way with a governor with a lot of power.
I mean, I think you did a really good job of explaining it a long time ago on one of the precursor podcasts.
Oh yeah.
When it was just like, like if you like your gun, and you believe in the Second Amendment, and somebody comes to your house and they're like, "Give me your gun," or else.
Nope.
Like, what do you think's gonna happen? People are gonna die.
Of course, people already have died. Red
Like-
flag laws have already killed people.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, people will die en masse now if that's going to be like, yo, we're gonna come into.
Think
the
about
house
this.
and
This
take
would
your gun.
essentially be one giant red flag law. It's essentially the confiscation of a red flag law and the confiscation of a mandatory buyback. I see no difference in it. They're still coming to your house unlawfully saying, "Give me your gun," and you're going to say no. People have already died in this situation. And now they want to do it statewide. Of course people are going to fucking die. They're going to die in, like, the hundreds, maybe even thousands, maybe even more. People are not going to give their fucking guns back.
Yeah, I foresee like actual like armed conflict, like
The boogaloo.
bands.
I'm
of
surprised
people,
that Northam
getting
won
together.
re-election, to be completely
I know,
honest.
right?
pockets of small militia even.
He's
Yeah.
so ridiculous when he gets out there and talks about stuff. But I mean, like, it's just reinforced my understanding that the only thing that you need to be elected as a politician in this country is just to be well liked, just be very charismatic and be well liked.
You don't even have to be smart. You don't even have to be smart, because this is ridiculous. Like, that's the fact that you would, like, make thousands of law-abiding citizens criminals overnight by passing legislation like this.
Yeah. It doesn't
And it's like the data isn't even like, sure, shootings happen, like school shootings happen, church shootings happen, and I'm not going to be the one who says like good guy with a gun. It's like sometimes it's not fast enough. Sometimes there isn't a good guy with a gun, and like I'm not going to be. But like the fact that if you have one there, chances of it being mitigated are a lot higher. But even on top of that,
I was going to say, let's read through the rest of these laws
Sure.
here too that they're proposing. Because a lot of that touches on that. So they would also require background checks on all firearm transactions. Reinstate
all firearm transactions, like including gun show.
Yep.
gun show, transfer from your
everything.
dad to your son.
Oh no, that's not even that. You're not even able to purchase. You won't even be able to transfer weapons to unregistered owners. Yeah, so let me require background checks on all firearm transactions. Reinstate the law repealed in 2012, allowing no more than one handgun purchase a month. Allow municipalities to enact ordinances that are stricter than state law. Among the examples, they cite rules banning guns in libraries or municipal buildings. They would require lost or stolen guns to be reported to authorities within 1 day. Allow law enforcement to temporarily separate a person from firearms if the person exhibits dangerous behavior that presents an immediate threat to themselves or others.
Law.
Which
that's a red flag law.
Yeah. Prohibit the subjects of protective orders from possessing guns. Toughen punishment for allowing access of a loaded, unsecured firearm to someone 18 or younger. So,
Boy Scouts can't even go shooting in Virginia.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Does that still count? Does that still count for like hunting rifles and hunting like seasons and stuff?
What's a dangerous weapon?
No,
That's
true.
was that not the language they use? A dangerous weapon.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's the that's where I
well,
have.
and is a hunting rifle a dangerous weapon?
Dude, anything.
Some would argue yes. Some would argue no.
There is that. See, like that's the problem when you make laws and stuff like this, because and I'll say the exact same thing about the Second Amendment too. Is because these things are worded specifically to be ambiguous in a certain direction, so it's like the interpretation can be cast widely.
Right, and then you just wait for some conflict based on it to happen, throw your best lawyers at it, and then let precedent finish the law for you.
Exactly.
So, like, if you basically use the language, well, any dangerous weapon, I mean, like, who is the one that decides
they
what
did the same thing
weapon?
they're doing the same thing with the term semi-automatic. Well, if we just ban all semi-automatic, people are like conflating the word semi-automatic and automatic. I actually had this conversation with a girl when I was in class with. She was like, "Oh, I just don't want people to have semi-automatic rifles." I'm like, "You know what a semi-automatic rifle is? You pull the trigger once, it shoots once." She's like, "Oh, I thought aren't ARs? I just don't want people to have ARs." I'm like, "Semi-automatic rifle. Pull the trigger once, it shoots once."
Yeah, people just have literally no idea what they're talking
No,
about.
and that's the thing. They're making people who don't know what they're talking about are calling for legislative changes.
Bandwagon fallacy is real.
It's unreal. It's ridiculous.
I'm reading the Darth Plagueis novel. It's on Audible. You should check it out. It's on the account.
Sure.
But
you know I won't do that.
I know, but you should. I also have the Tale of Turin Turambar, read by Christopher Lee.
You know what? I want to get a poster
awesome.
for the studio. You know that picture you showed me a little while back? It says, "Thou shalt not commit logical fallacies." With the big list.
That's fucking Paul's channel or what is it?
Yeah.
Fucking post guidelines.
Banner? Oh.
Yeah, it's their banner.
I think we can get that in a 5x10.
The poll thing? Yeah, I'm sure it exists in some crazy high resolutions.
Yeah.
But like Plagueis says, and it's kind of true, especially like in this particular regard, that like democracy is the plague of the unemployed and the ignorant. Because if you do allow the unemployed don't necessarily apply in this situation, but like if you do allow the ignorant to have a voice, this is something that you need to be prepared for. You need to be ready to accept the fact that the ignorant, who are have just as much right to their voice as you have to yours,
and that
are just going to be out there spouting nonsense.
And that's exactly why the Founding Fathers wanted a republic, because they feared the tyranny of the majority. It's a well-documented fact that they wanted to avoid a tyrannical majority.
No, I saw there was a Twitter post that said that
people don't fucking
where
get that.
he was like, because somebody was talking about the popular vote for Trump and whatnot, and this guy
Watch him win the popular vote this time.
that would be hilarious. This guy, posted, like, well, like this is America, and in America we're a republic, and a republic doesn't suffer the tyranny of the 51%. And I mean, like it's that. I mean, like it makes sense because it's hard because when you start moving in like that, like the margins are so close like that, there needs to be more backup plans besides, like, if you look, let's go back in time. We look at like some examples of real democracies, like, and they're not even real democracies, obviously, because you have to be a wealthy person, obviously, to be involved. But like, go to Florence and look at like the Signoria.
Sure.
But that shit was a mess. You've got everybody in there just shouting over each other, people buying votes from other people and stuff, because that's exactly how it would work. It's like, oh, I want this. I've got more resources than you. I need your vote in order to get what I want to happen. You need my resources. We can work something out. I mean, let's go back further. Look at Rome. Like you've got the old Roman
Republic.
Yeah,
They had senators and stuff like that.
yeah, but like they
were a republic. I mean, like they.
Oh, yeah.
More so, like look at Greece though.
Greece
was more of a like Athens was very democratic. They had like the.
Once again, you had to be part of the ruling class.
You had to be Athenian.
You had to be a ruling class Athenian man to participate in the in session. I don't really know what it would be called, Congress.
Yeah, speaking of like voter laws and stuff like that, like, or not voter laws, but like voting and democracy and stuff like that. The same argument, or the same people who say voter ID laws are racist because minorities can't get them. And they're the same people who just made it legal for people who don't live in this fucking country to get a fucking they can get a license now. It's like they don't even live here and they can get it.
Yeah, but like once again, we went over, and I mean, like I think that it'll definitely cause a serious issue because I know, like you said, a lot of the people who do run polls are just volunteers. They're just regular old Joes.
And here's the thing, right? These states that offer IDs to fucking like people, to non-citizens, illegal immigrants, let's call it that, don't require IDs to vote at all. And here's the kicker: you get a driver's license, you accidentally get put on fucking voter recall rolls and stuff like that for jury duty, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, what happens?
Like jury duty, shit like that. Like you're registered in the DMV's auto fucking shit. Sometimes it automatically registers you to vote.
I honestly, and like the main thing that's like super weird is the fact that this is the problem. This is the problem with like an all-consuming federal government, or like an all-controlling federal government.
You're damn right.
Is because you've got all kinds of people in, like when I was talking, like at the bachelor party, I was talking to Colin and whatnot out in the field about this, and he kept bringing up the fact, like, like that there's, like the people in these camps and whatnot being separated. Sure. Like we have the money to like bring all of them in and put them in houses and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let's see, even if we do physically have the money, it's like if we spend all the money on doing that, we don't have any money left to do things that we need to do.
We don't have that money. That money is not there. There is no money there.
That's China's money.
No, because
that money has got a fucking earmark, man. Like we can't just move all that fucking money.
I mean, like the thing that kind of like that gets me about it is that like a long time ago, I used to think that I would be, if somebody was like, I'll make sure that you've got food and water and a house and stuff like that. Like I'll work for you. But like now that I've like been on my own and I've got vices and I've got things that I like to do in my free time, there's just no way.
Everybody does it. And everybody has a vice too.
There's no way that you would be able to live like a happy life if you were only being provided the essentials in return for your labor. Yeah.
It's called indentured servitude, and it's a very bad thing.
I mean, like in all honesty, I don't understand. Like, first of all, I'm gonna say it again. Watch Chernobyl.
Yeah.
But like there's all these moments where it's like showing the inside of people's apartments and stuff.
It's always run down.
Well, yeah, they always are run down, which makes total sense. That's the most believable part about the apartments because they're always full of like personal effects, random little toys and random knickknacks and just artwork and just junk like that. And I keep thinking to myself, like, well, all of that stuff, one, either has to predate Soviet Union, or it's somebody who's, you know, like making all of these random, you know, like, or people are just making these random knickknacks for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, because like in the Soviet Union,
what happened to all the Fabergé eggs? They all got broken down, didn't they?
Yeah, for the most part, or
why
they're
they're so
either in
rare.
museums or they're.
Isn't that why they're so rare?
Well, yeah, no. China did the same thing. Like when the Communist Party basically took over, they look at these things, they say like, oh, we don't need these because these are representations of the old way. We get rid of it because money means nothing to communists. So priceless things mean nothing to communists either. Yeah. It's all about the future. The past doesn't actually mean anything. And not to mention like the way that they, like, I thought it was crazy when you read about like the killing fields and shit in Vietnam, and they talk about like them going out there and killing dudes with glasses because they thought that people who were able to afford glasses were somehow higher class.
The bourgeoisie, man.
Which is just nuts. Which is just crazy.
At what point do you join the bourgeoisie, and at what point are you?
And this was like my whole rant the other day about.
When are you the proletariat, and when are you the bourgeoisie?
And that kind of goes back to my whole rant last episode about the oppressed class stuff, because it's like, you know, if you look,
you sounded very bad.
I don't care.
Okay,
because they're not. They're nobody's. Name the Jews that are living under authoritarian rule right now.
The ones in Palestine.
Do you mean Israel?
No, the ones in Palestine.
The ones that are living in the West Bank look like they have a really fucking good situation.
Oh no, the ones that moved into the West Bank are having a nice time. The ones that, I don't know, they probably killed all the ones that don't live anywhere. If they don't live in Israel, they kill them.
But
anyway.
like my point basically is, just because people don't like you and they're fucking attacking you and shit like that because of your personal beliefs that are, you know, happen to go against their personal beliefs, that's not oppression. That's hate. It's not oppression. Oppression is when somebody is like personally keeping you down because they know that they can, and they're getting some sort of benefit about it.
There's got to be a power discrepancy.
Nobody is doing that to the Jews nowadays. I don't honestly think that anybody is really doing that to, like, you want to talk, like, here, the Chinese. The Chinese citizens,
are oppressing
those
people.
are oppressed.
Yeah.
Some of the Chinese are oppressed people.
Yeah.
Some of them are the ones oppressing. Like Uyghurs?
Yeah.
Uyghurs are oppressed people.
Yeah, I'll call it
Like
that. I'll give you that definition. There has to be a power differential.
There just has to be. You know
but
what I mean?
let's say we're not defending them because they're oppressed people. We're defending them because we have interests in common and they're our ally.
That's a good way.
That's a lot better reason to think about it.
100%. But like my point,
you're operating under the premise that we're saving them because they're an oppressed
No,
class.
I'm not. I'm saying that like there's a bunch of people on the internet and throughout this country who are operating on that.
And like, here's the reason that a lot of like there are significantly less Jewish people in the world than there are Muslims or Christians. So it is a small minority of people that are like, that's what people are thinking of as an oppressed class, because there is a larger there's a larger majority.
Well, they used to be oppressed, you know, and that's
I know,
the thing.
and
It's like
I'm not justifying it. What I'm saying is this is their train of thought. There is a majority, either white Christian people who are Nazis or Muslims who are trying to kill them and eradicate them. So there's a majority oppressing the minority. And to them, that is the power differential they need. You don't have to be an established anything to be part of that majority. But if you are in that majority, you're oppressing them because you're a part of that majority.
I mean, that's
all it is. That's their entire reasoning.
That's a terrible reasoning.
That's it, though.
It's not good because that's not true.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to end it there because I have to run back to my house and take care of some stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in. Make sure that you like and subscribe, share it. That's probably the best thing that you can possibly do to help the content grow. Stay tuned. We're going to do something involving 2A. We're probably going to dive more into Virginia. I would like to drum up some stuff about Ralph Northam. I really want to do some stuff about the Young Turks, talk about Chunk
yogurt.
It's just like there's a lot. I got a lot of stuff swirling around the brain, around the brain. A lot of stuff on the docket. So make sure that you don't miss it. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.